YouTube, Josh here. We're going to do a review, summary of features on the Llama 9mm Parabellum, or possibly called Llama. Don't know, I don't speak Spanish. Basically, it's a 1911 copy, or clone, or knockoff, if you will. It disassembles the same way, reassembles pretty much the same way. There's a little tiny button right around here that is actually directly connected to the grip safety, and when you reassemble it, you'll have to take note of that. Otherwise, it disassembles and reassembles just like a regular 1911. This one's got a 4 1/4 inch barrel. It's hard chrome finish. The series of guns will use 9mm 1911 magazines, so you can get the magazines pretty easily. They're actually some of the more expensive 1911 magazines because obviously the Colt 45 is not supposed to be in 9mm. But this particular gun is actually quite reliable. With a good magazine in it, I have had no failures, and I also have shot a 196 at 15 yards, which is plenty good. I believe it's a marksman by military standards. It's right underneath a sharpshooter, so the gun is a lot more accurate than it's given credit, and this one is a lot more reliable than a lot of them are given credit. It's an inexpensive gun. It's only about $250, and I think it's pretty attractive. It'll go in any 1911 holster. It's a little bit smaller than your standard 1911, so it'll go into them pretty easy. Of course, unless you have the commander or the officer or any of the other little tiny models. But anyways, a real 1911 is the 5-inch barrel. There's really not a whole lot to say about it. I mean, it is a 1911 basically, in function and in looks, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. One, it's a budget 1911, so that's a bad thing because people are going to think it's not any good, but it's also readily available as far as being inexpensive and having a lot of them out there. And you can always get magazines for it. Unfortunately, the grips do not match 1911 grips. Most likely, you could just throw another hole through it and make it line up, but it doesn't line up as is. So you're pretty much stuck with these plastic grips because nobody makes grips for them anymore. I'm going to rate this a weak 4 out of 5. It's a really good gun. If I can get my hand to work. It is a pretty safe gun as far as the safeties stay in engagement, and they all work just like they're supposed to. Hard chrome parts are actually harder than other metals, so they should last longer. I would recommend this gun. This was Josh. We were reviewing the Llama 9mm Parabellum. We give it 1 thumbs up. It's a good gun. It's not great. It's not fantastic, but it's $250. You really can't do a whole lot better than that for $250. This is recoil operated. Like I said, it's a 1911, so it's linked barrel recoil operated. All of the downsides of those guns fall into this. The recoil springs, the link, the barrel, all of that. So basically, think of a 1911 when you think of the good and the bad. This was Josh. We're signing out.